and welcome to Season 6, Episode 22 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches of 2021 with match number 29 on our list, which is the Open the Dream Gate title match between the champion Shun Skywalker and the challenger KZY from the Dragon Gate Kobe Pro Wrestling Festival Night 1 held on May the 31st of 2021. This match is a battle, it's a war, and it's got this multi-layered story going into it, which I love. Dragon Gate is a promotion that I don't follow nearly as much as I should in today's modern age. It was a promotion I watched, all the way from Toryumon into the start of Dragon Gate, followed it up, really closely, all through the mid-2000s and the 2010s, and for whatever reason, just kind of fell out of it. I would check in when a match would get a lot of hype. Sometimes I would agree with that hype, sometimes not knowing all of the story elements, I wouldn't get, as much out of it as most people would. I generally, look to my friend Alan Farrell to recommend, what's good in the world of Dragon Gate. But going into this match, there was a great story here. I'm a big fan of KZY. You will hear me pronounce it KZY. I am Canadian. That's kind of my go-to. But this is a dude that I have watched in some amazing, high-quality Open the Dream Gate title matches over the years, only to see him lose. 4 separate times he had lost in his quest to become the champion. But in 2021, he won the King of Gate tournament, which is a big tournament that Dragon Gate runs, with the winner, getting that title shot here at the Kobe World Festival. So this really seemed like his moment in the sun. The King of Gate winner has been successful in their title quest for going on like 4 or 5 years, I think, into this point. So it seemed very likely that he would continue on with that. Shun Skywalker, one of the new crop, the new generation of great Dragon Gate talents. He is phenomenal, only 24, 25 years old at the time that this match happened. He came back from an excursion in Mexico, very quickly won the Open the Dream Gate title. Unfortunately, his title reign up until this point really wasn't going the way I think everybody thought. His first title defense against Ben K unfortunately ended with Ben K getting knocked out and suffering an injury, completely derailing that match, which up until that point was going along great. He had a couple, I believe 2 title defenses on some kind of smaller Dragon Gate shows where, which really didn't make the rounds online. So unless you're, one of those Dragon Gate diehards that subscribes to their subscription service, you might not have even seen. He had a big match at, I believe, the Dead or Alive event against Hip Hop Kikuta. That again ended in injury when Kikuta got injured mere moments into the match. So this is a guy that's title reign, really wasn't all it was cracked up to be. And here, now he's put in this, position of having to defend the title against this very hungry, King of Gate winner, that seems like he's going to win the title. To overcomplicate things here, following the trend of Wrestle Kingdom and then WrestleMania, the Kobe Pro Wrestling Festival was decided to be a 2-night event this year. The first night, being a big event, and then the second night having all of the champions have to defend their titles once again against new challengers, as well as the send-off of Masato Yoshino. So you have the wild card of Yamato, who holds the record, or I believe, would have won the record of most Open the Dream Gate title reigns with 5, should he be successful in his title venture on night 2. And it creates this great little kind of tension of Shun, really having something to prove throughout this weekend, be the first man in a number of years to defeat the King of Gate winner, and then go on and basically beat that, the Dragon Gate ace, the next in line. Masato Yoshino, from the generation before Yamato, is kind of, riding off into the sunset, well-deserved. And Shun really wants to prove that it's his generation's time, whereas Yamato and KZY as well, being from the same generation, are trying to show that they're not ready to give up that throne as of yet. So you have this really great, 2-night, 2-match intrigue here. This was the first night. This was the first match. These guys have a war. This match is great. It's hard hitting, great spots, great drama. It's absolutely excellent stuff. We get a bit of a tentative start. It's, KZY that, kind of ups the tempo. He does a signature kind of worm, out of an armbar attempt. Hits a kick to the gut, so he kind of goes, to the strikes and subtle dirtiness first, and they really increase the pace. And it's all kind of even until we get a huge spot very early in the match where Shun goes for a monkey flip, one of his signatures. KZY turns it around, kind of places Shun up on the top turnbuckle, hits a big European uppercut, which is one of his signatures, which sends Shun out to the ring apron. KZY goes out, tries for a brainbuster on the ring apron, which would have been crazy this early into the match. It gets countered, and Shun hits the monkey flip off the ring apron, sending KZY careening off the apron, doing a complete somersault, and going back first on the concrete. It was crazy. It was brutal, brutal, brutal stuff. And it creates this opening of now, KZY having to fight back with this bad back and giving Shun, an area to really focus on. KZY, he collapses on an Irish whip attempt, and Shun kind of gets this arrogant edge to him that would be a precursor to, an eventual heel turn where he kind of seems, arrogant and cocky and beating on KZY and taunting him and kind of shoves the referee off of him. And I really like this because I feel like KZY is the sentimental favorite here. This is essentially a face versus face match, so having that subtle heelism kind of gives it that little extra juice of, well, now you really have someone to root for. KZY, his European uppercuts are great. He uses lots of them to sway the momentum of his matches. He hits a great, running, diving one. Catches Shun coming off the top with another Euro, hits a big Air Jordan to kind of get himself back in this match. They go back to the monkey flip exchange again, but this time, Shun kind of has the European scout it, fights him off, hits the monkey flip, and then we get this great battle on the top rope where Dragon Gate is so good a lot of times with their camera work, and a lot of their wrestlers really have this great physical charisma. So many Dragon Gate wrestlers are so charismatic. I don't understand the language, so it's really that physical charisma that gets me. And I talk about that a lot, in this series. And I mentioned guys like William Regal and Yoshihiro Tajiri that really, exude that. And both of these guys do a really good job as well. So while they're on the top rope, trading all of these forearms, we're getting these great facial reactions and body language moments, and it leads to KZY, fighting Shun off from the top rope as he goes for, a super butterfly suplex. And he dives off of the top, dives right into a drop kick, and we really start to go into the heavy, dramatic near falls here. The first being from Shun, he gets the butterfly suplex, he hits the knee collapse, I call it. Frightmare was the first guy I ever really saw do it. It's kind of like that moonsault, double knees. So he hits that for 2, follows it up with another, goes for one off the top rope, misses, and KZY kind of catches him with a Euro coming down. It doesn't look, great, but the thought and the idea was there. It's still a big missed move, and KZY fires off his own offense. He gets, a splash while Shun Skywalker's hunched over, the delirious, shadows over hell spot, and gets a big frog splash for 2. And this match doesn't go super long. I believe it's under 25 minutes, so kind of that great sweet spot for a really well-developed, big-time world title main event match like this one is. And we get great drama, great near falls, like I said, lots of great strike exchanges between the two. Shun Skywalker makes all of his offense look so good and so elegant and so impactful. He hits a Chaos Theory German suplex, right? The rolling German suplex that Doug Williams would do. But his bridge is so wonderful. He actually bridges on his legs as opposed to on his toes. It's gorgeous. He hits a big Splash Mountain Powerbomb for 2. He goes for the moonsault, which is, one of his primary finishers. But hits knees, and KZY grabs a Koji clutch, which is his pet submission move. Kind of does a modified version of it for a big struggle to the ropes. KZY gets a sliding European uppercut, which is no-sold by Shun, right? We get the great fighting spirit here. He goes for the Splash Mountain again, and KZY counters into a Canadian Destroyer. So we're getting just big time stuff. It's, you know, pandemic era Japan, so the crowd can only get so hot, but you do get that, you know, little bit of juice out of them, you know, not to the level you would in any other non-COVID time, but it's enough that you can feel that heat, you know, from the match. We get a big, you know, forearm exchange for their knees, and we get this wonderful counter sequence where KZY, you know, goes for the European uppercut again. Shun Skywalker, you know, avoids it, hits a reverse run, starts hitting all of these like big sidewalk slams to that bad back injured from the monkey flip to the floor earlier. He goes for the Blue Thunder powerbomb, which is his pet move. And KZY, you know, if you're unfamiliar with him, he has all of these great like roll-ups, like these mousetrap seatbelt pin roll-ups that he either wins with or uses for great near falls, and he gets one, and it's such a hot near fall. It only gets him 2. When I watched this match, you know, at the time it happened, I bid on it. I was fully expecting KZY to win. That's what I wanted to happen. I thought this was the finish. It was only 2. They got me hook, line, and sinker with the near fall. Watching this match back, you know, determining where it was going to rank in the countdown when I came up with my top 50, I bit on the near fall again. And to me, that's always a great example when you rewatch a match that you know the result for, but you still, you know, get up for those false finishes. So they do that here. It's excellent. After that, though, it kind of becomes Shun just like systematically breaking him down with a bunch more of those side slams. One gets countered. KZY almost gets the Tiger Driver, one of his pet moves. It's countered into the Blue Thunder Bomb. Shun Skywalker's finishing maneuver on the bad back. It's enough to keep KZY down for 3. Shun Skywalker finally gets, you know, his big title defense. He vanquishes the King of Gate winner for the first time in years. And unfortunately for KZY, it was another disappointing Open the Dream Gate title bid where he just couldn't do it. Shun Skywalker would try to ride the momentum from this win into the next night, but having just went through a war, he would have the Ace of Dragon Gate, Yamato, standing in his way. That's a match that I would, you know, talk a little bit about now and give you the result, but if you don't know what happens, let's wait and see, because we are going to get to it, baby. It's, they top what they did on night 1 on night 2, so a little spoiler for you, that will be coming very soon in our countdown. This match, though, phenomenal stuff. You can watch it. I believe it's probably on the Dragon Gate streaming service. Their streaming service is weird, though, where things don't stay up on it for very long. And sometimes if you don't catch something live, it's a really long time before it comes up on demand. So I'll be truthful. I don't quite know if it's on there. It would make sense that it is. If not, though, you can track this match down online. Just do a Google search. You're going to find it on a streaming website somewhere. You can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you never miss a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50. And please join me again next time as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.